unit owners, then you've got to ask, why didn't we receive her? Because people didn't want her. There were people here who said they don't want her. So if you want to ask, why don't you answer the question, why do 101 people, valid 101 people, say get off the board?
Well, you know quite well that nobody scrutinized the 101 votes. It was, if you go through the procedures, it's enough. If you go through the procedure, okay, can I speak? If you go through the procedures, it's enough to disqualify a few votes.
Colonel Bickman, why do we have to have people that don't represent what Catania wants in our meetings? If they're suing us, they shouldn't even be here. They shouldn't be here.
Unfortunately, under Florida law, they are entitled to be here as unit owners. There's nothing you can do about that.
We don't want to hear them.
And the bottom, and it's exactly, we can't throw them out, they're entitled to be here, and we wouldn't say leave, or I wouldn't say leave, the board will not say leave. But that's exactly the point, is that if you've got so many people who have just screamed out, they don't want you, but you're still pushing for it. I mean, it's called bullying in the schoolyard. Okay, so that's what's happening, is the building is being bullied. And you know what? The board and the building, because everybody has shown that they don't want this individual involved with the building. And there are elections next week, and if you guys don't want us, the 5 of us, to be on your board, then you'll vote us out. I mean, that's your opportunity. So next week will be the proxy to show whether you think the 5 of us should be on it, and if you say you don't want me or any of the other ones, then we won't be here. That's fine, that's why we're going to the vote. But, the point is that a unit owner that wants to be on the board and do better for the building gets up there and does, show that you're not gonna cost the building a fortune in trying to promote your own agenda. And that's why we switched from two-year terms to one-year term, so that we can be judged on an annual basis, board members are judged on an annual basis, and if you like them, you keep them. If you don't like them, you throw them out of office.
Are you an owner yet, Steve? Are you an owner of 1605 yet?
Jennifer, we've gone through this ad nauseum.
I just want to know whether you are the
You
owner.
answered it
or not.
100 times, big
Jennifer,
man.
it's
Are
none
you
of
an
your
owner?
business.
Are you a
Jennifer, you have to stop disrespecting your neighbors. You have to stop respect your neighbors. It's enough.
just-
Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Can I ask a question? Is he a
Enough is
owner?
Jennifer, the first time I slept in unit 1605 was in May of 1980. When did you sleep in a room in the Catania?
Are you an owner of
I asked you a question,
I just
woman.
asked you, are you an owner or not? You said like that
Answer
question.
me.
Moving on.
The answer is you didn't work out.
We can even,
He's not an owner. Legally, he's not an owner. You can check the records. He doesn't pay taxes.
Are you an owner? Are you a TV owner of 1605?
He said yes.
For
How many
answer.
times?
No, he didn't.
If he's a TV owner, we have
Thank you, Joe.
Alright, so, just briefly, because I already talked about this by and large, in addition to money, Cerami also got an agreement with the association to do certain work, which was then not done because, of course, we didn't know it had to be done. Also, the work that she's asked for, with certain painting and certain stucco removal that was gonna be done anyway, but it was gonna be done at the end of the project. But she sent a 10-day demand, basically saying, do it within the next 10 days, or, I'm going to, bring back this matter to court. At which point we mobilized Lance and Santiago overtime weekends to get the work done, so that the work was done within the 10-day window, so that she didn't have a claim based on the failure to do certain work, which she clearly was entitled to based on that agreement, but which no one knew about. So,
Because it was out of board.
I guess it's
Second
Fire
of
board.
all,
Fire
I found water in October, not 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's number one. I came back yesterday to see what happened, and there's water in there again. So when Lance went in, it was dry. It just rained on Friday. So after a rain, I get water. I have sponges, I have like,
I I really can't talk to you because you are represented by counsel, so,
All right, then my lawyer will call you tomorrow.
Right.
I'm happy to have him call. I told management that if you were gonna be here, he should be here also. But I don't.
I went to management today, they didn't tell me that.
There was an email sent out.
Okay, look,
Okay, so he says you responded to his email.
but there was a, yeah, I thought you responded, but look, Mrs. Sarami, I get it, okay? No, you're not letting me speak, okay? When our units have been damaged, and I think it's happened to everyone, probably all 204 units in this building, you want somebody to take care of it. And I don't know what the cause of your damage was or not, okay? Because I wasn't involved, only found out about it a week and a half ago when we were served with the 10-day notice, which had to do with exterior work and what it was, and we were blindsided. And we did reach out to your attorney to try and figure it out and get an extension in terms of doing this, and there was no, to the best of my knowledge, there's no extension of time. That's not the point. If you've had damage in your apartment, then you're entitled to recovery, for your damages. If it's pursuant to either a responsibility of the building or a responsibility into some settlement agreement which was there. So we can't relitigate the issue about whether you're entitled to what you got or not. And that's not the point. We all may have opinions on it, but what was done by a prior board and a prior group and signed off on is not something that we can open up again and say, let's change the terms. That being said, one of the things that has happened and why some of the people who really dislike this board intensely, unit owners, are some of the ones that have had the biggest claims, and I'm not saying it's you per se, but this is just a global thing, is that people have demanded payments for damages within their own units, which justifiably there's been damage in them, okay? But in certain cases, the building was responsible for the damages on the interior of the apartment, and in many cases it wasn't. It was due to another unit owner. I myself, my unit had water damage 4 times in the last 10 years, arising from the apartment above. Hot water heater leak, toilets leak, and then gushing water from I don't know where. In all 4 instances, the building refused to pay me, okay, and said bring it against the unit owner above, who I got 0 from contribution. But given the fact that I don't own the unit, I didn't really care. Okay, so the point was that other unit owners have been compensated for damages that have come from other unit owners and not the building. It was an ad hoc situation where sometimes people got paid and sometimes didn't. And if you really look at I'm not going to say nepotism, but it's almost like depending on who it was, there seemed to be payments. And we've heard from different unit owners that said you always paid in the past, now you're not. And that's one of the reasons why we have seen higher legal bills, among many other reasons, is that we have changing, what we do in this building. Is that before you may have said, okay, before, the budget was only this for legal and it wasn't encountered, but what nobody is seeing is we're no longer paying out the claims. This is not you personally now, this is more of a globe. I'm not addressing Mrs. Sarami, your situation. But in the past, we have claims for people who want 40,000, 60,000, 28,000, 12,000 here, and 17,000 here. Those numbers were paid, okay, to units of them. They don't show up as legal, but they were paid by this association. And that is what we're trying to get a grip on. And where you may see billings because he's dealing with your particular situation to avoid it with somebody else's in the future, to set the precedent so that we're not the cash register, which is where money has gone. We have been paying out things and we're trying to do it. There are unit owners that have gotten paid for certain things where the association is responsible, and we have also said we're not responsible for it, and that is the difference. And we are learning what it is by Florida law and what's required by our bylaws and what it is. And that is a change within this building, and it's something that has happened over the last 8 months.
I mean, just more generally, the statute deals with responsibilities of the association and the unit owner in the event of a, quote, insurable event, which water leaks are, obviously, so are hurricanes, whatever. by and large, the owner is responsible for their contents, for certain floor coverings, ceiling coverings, cabinetry. The association basically redoes the drywall. Yes, the statute says unless there is negligence, which of course opens a loophole you can drive a truck through because everybody says, but you were negligent. But the bottom line is, the owners are supposed to have their own insurance to cover damage to their units. And if you're choosing to self-insure, because I get it, it's very expensive to buy, insurance along the ocean, then you're choosing to self-insure, and if something happens to your unit, if it's outside the statutory framework, the association is not going to pay. Okay, if it's inside the statutory framework, of course, the association will pay. In the past, the owner would say, but you were negligent. And that is an exception in the statute. And he said, okay, we're negligent, here you go as a check. We're not doing that anymore. And that's,
We only have the problem fixed. Okay? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, and
It is ever since they put, now none of these were around when they put those pavers on that patio deck. That's when it started, in 1999.
okay, so that is the recreation board, which is the source of that.
I understand.
I don't blame you for wanting to have it repaired. As we said, up until 15 days ago, we had no idea that this existed. Now, maybe we were negligent in the hands of.
Unfortunately, not my fault.
I agree with you, but it's not our fault either, but we scrambled to look what it is. So when Lance went in and it was bone dry, okay, last week before the rain, or 2 weeks ago, okay, it wasn't. What the other conditions were on the exterior of the unit, which they scrambled and did accomplish to handle. Nobody should be getting water in their units. I don't know whether it's coming from above, if it's old windows, what the deal is. I don't know if you have new windows, if you have the 40-year-old windows.
It's coming from up from under the floor. I know.
Okay, but that is also the recreation association that's.
But I have to go through you guys first, because I live in your building, and then they sue
Okay.
direct. I went through.
I have no idea. I mean, you, on this one, you've also sued. Look, have you heard back from the recreation? No, but you've heard back from us because whether you like the answer or what's going on, this board cares to rectify the situation.
Okay, I understand that.
Right.
All I know is I put dry sponges down when I leave here. When I come back, all the sponges are extended, which hence means water.
I'm not fighting, I don't.
Okay, so I have to spend my money now to get an engineer there to find out where this water's coming from. It's negligent on the building and rec.
Well, if it's not coming from, look, I don't know the exact.
It's not coming from above.
Okay.
It's coming from the bottom.
Okay, I don't know where it's coming from or not, but I'm not gonna opine, but in the event, and it's our belief, and you just substantiated it, it's not coming from the building, it's coming from the pavers. The pavers are wrecked.
It could be coming from the drain pipe that comes through my wall. Because that's where all the rusting of the water.
I mean,
They're
I
supposed
can't
to
comment
be
on it.
doing a drain test on that drain, because that's where it could be
Okay,
coming.
and yeah, again, I can't comment, I'm not gonna say yes or no, but I can tell you, look, I don't blame you for.
I want money. I don't want money. I want to use my apartment.
I don't
can't
blame
use
you,
it.
right, I don't blame you for being angry, okay? I absolutely do not blame you for being angry. What we have tried to do is figure this out, okay, on what it is. But Brad, I mean, we spent the first half hour telling you that we couldn't get these people to talk about glass rails. I mean, they're impossible to deal with. I mean, I don't
With
get.
all due respect, do you all go home and go to sleep at night? In your
Not
your
really.
condo? Do you have a bed to go to sleep in your condo?
Depends who you ask if I have a condo.
I don't care. You're renting, you own, I don't care. I have nowhere to go, okay? I have to come here to meetings and rent hotel rooms, and I'm paying $20,000 a year for this apartment. That's crazy.
I mean, more generally, if you have an issue with your unit with leaks, perhaps you should reach out and talk to the association rather than calling your lawyer. But be that as it may,
Are you kidding?
I'm not speaking with you, you are represented by counsel.
Going backwards 10 years.
Oh my God, my lawyer will be on the phone with you tomorrow, believe me.
Again,
I can't get any more insulted than this man is doing right now.
well, that's why he's not talking to you. That's the whole point, is that it's not, I mean, these are the laws of attorneys. I mean, it's unfortunate that it feels stupid what's going on here, but that's the whole point of it. No, what I was going to say, but if your attorney was here, there could be a dialogue where it wouldn't be
If I had
misinterpreted.
known my attorney had to be here, I would have had it here, okay?
He sent an email.
I mean, we-
I'm in a hotel, where am I getting email? I had, nobody
phone?
called my cell phone, no, just called the house phone, you didn't call my phone,
No, I emailed
okay?
I thought, I don't know what this, look, I was in a mediation when I got it. One of the things I sent out on the mediation was tell her to make sure her attorney is present if she's going to be there and wants to have it. Okay,
You're right.
we reached out and it's an unfortunate set of circumstances. You know, one of the things that's frustrating is that I think we tend to be a much more efficient board than it had been in the past. But we're not perfect, and we're not compensated for this job
I understand.
to do that. But we're sitting here trying to make people happy, and 204 units to
I
make
just
happy.
wanna go in my apartment.
I don't blame you, and we will do things to try to get that to happen. That's all I can promise you. Because I have to tell you, no matter who I've spoken to, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 people here, I have tried my best, and there are people who have threatened to kill me who have become my best friends here. Okay? So I can tell you that the idea is to make things better here, and that's the goal of this board
Well,
and this
you
team.
send the Lance in, and Lance telling me I'm full of shit is not the way to get things done, sir. And I do
Didn't say
expect
that.
an apology from him, number one.
We move on.
Okay? No, we're not moving on, because it's my apartment. I have to listen to all your nonsense. This has been going on, sir, since 1999.
Again, I'll tell you what,
And
Mr.
the
Romney,
first-
let's
no,
have,
wait, the first 5 times that we did go through our insurance, and you up to here, 2 companies dropped me because of it. So how much more can I do?
I don't know the end, now we're going back more than 20 years, and I don't have that information. I am happy to speak to you after this meeting,
Fine.
so, okay?
I'd be very
Thank you.
happy.
It's-
I mean, again, I mean, it's all, as you pointed out, I mean, the rec may be the issue, I don't know. Okay, so,
Believe me, there's no love lost between me and the rec, so go for it.
I believe it's the building.
Well, you said it was the rec, but anyway, we'll.
Papers, I think you said
You said the papers,
You said
right?
papers.
But anyway, we'll talk.
alright, so we actually already did the discussion.
We don't wanna be on a video over here. I don't wanna be on a video.
I mean, you can certainly move away from the video, but unfortunately Florida law allows her to record the meeting. And we did insist that the camera be placed in a certain spot. I mean, one of the things we can consider for the next meeting is putting in certain rules which regulate where the camera goes and that kind of thing, but we haven't done that so far. If people think, you know, if people think that that's a good idea, we can say that anyone who's recording has to stand over there, so that it just, you know, so that it just gets to the board table. Go on for next meeting agenda, vote on, videotaping, rules regarding location and, you know, the camera and whatever. We'll figure the exact words later.
Well, we can sue for being on a video, right?
Yeah, you really can't, because unfortunately they're entitled to video.
Just going back on these damages, can the board also decide what it's going to allow or not allow before the orders at large?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. I mean, it's a matter of figuring out what are the responsibilities of the individual unit owners and what is the responsibility of the association in the event of that. And promulgating that.
I mean, the answer more generally is, as the statute describes them, assuming no negligence, which is, you know, there is a division. It's roughly, the association is drywall in and the owner is drywall out.
Drywall for 3 years.
I don't know, I mean, I don't know if that's what we were
Okay,
discussing.
but why don't we will put it in writing. Because I don't think many, other than the 2 of you probably know the statute, well, actually, you probably. Okay, so where are we?
So, yeah, I mean, we were talking about, discussion, yeah, I mean, bottom line is, we talked about, completing the association work, did we ever vote on that?
No. To ratify the decision to complete the work.
The one we didn't need to authorize is no settlements.
So, make a motion to ratify the association decision to complete the work demanded by surrounding unit per settlement fee in unit 203 of the 10-day window period provided by agreement. Do I have a second?
Judy Dupre, second.
All in favor?
Following that, Catania.
Judy Dupre, aye.
Stephen Miller, aye.
Howard, aye.
Okay,
So we discussed this already, I think I'm just gonna, it's basically, we're gonna make a motion to install an opening, in the glass rails located on the second floor if they sign a release. Every owner will have the same decision, but if they wanna sign a release, then they'll get an opening. If they don't, you won't sue us for prior damage to the unit. Well, for in the past, I mean, presumably you know somebody broke into your unit by now. But yes, it releases anything that happens before the day of the release. Future is the future, right? You can't really deal with the future.
okay, so. The vote, board vote.
Like the three departments, when do you need our answers by that?
The sooner the better to get it done. Either yes or no, and then we can get it moving.
It's over the back. I come down to the office tomorrow, I can tell you my answer. I just wanna know how to do it, that's all.
Right, but it has to do with the settlement.
In her circumstance, her attorney is going to need it.
But otherwise.
Otherwise not, because, the bottom line is, I would need your attorney's contact. The other owners can just go directly to the office. I mean, it's basically, it's in a 4 or 5 page agreement that I emailed. It basically says that you're releasing any old claims that occurred prior to today's date.
Okay, so we have to ratify this.
Yeah, you have to.
Make a motion to ratify the association, vote, no,
It's
it's
the
a vote
motion to
on
install an opening on the glass rails in the second floor, conditioned on them signing the release prepared by the association's attorney.
And it says in what are the conditions?
Make a motion to vote on whether to or not to alter the glass rails on the second floor to allow second floor units direct access to the pool pending execution of a release. Do I hear a second?
Judy Dupre, second.
Following by Kelly, second.
No.
Following by Talia.
Judy Dupre, aye.
Stephen Miller, aye.
Howard, aye.
Peter Russell, All right. The next topic is the discussion of hiring a forensic accountant.
The long story is it's going to be very expensive, and the question really is whether or not to spend $2,500 to bring them here for 1 day to see if they stumble upon a smoking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a discussion, do we spend $2,500 or not? I mean, that's.
They took more than $2,500.
The housing is going to be 6 figures. The question is at what point, to do this correctly, it's 6 figures. The question is whether you do some of it to see if maybe you get lucky and find stuff earlier rather than later.
What you can do is rather than spend, say, hey, we want the full forensic accounting for $100,000. You can say, hey, come in, see if you see any smoke, and if you see some smoke, well then let's go find the fire. So
That comes up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's another thing we inherit.
Steve, you, huh? We got lots of surprises. So the other thing, you know, with the forensic accountant is, what is going on right now, I don't know what the status of it is. We said rather than going back and, you know, the last year, what we've asked, and the records were just off, the paper records and all, is we're pulling all the bank statements for the last 5 years to see what's happened in our bank statements, to have an understanding of where the money's gone back and what, and then going from that point to see about what forensic audit. So that's where we've come out as the most cost effective, we've done internally. Then somebody has to cull over the information to determine what those bank statements say. So rather than, you know, the forensic accounting was the last 2 years, but you know, this really goes back 5, 6 years. So pull the statements and see where it is. So that's the best. I mean, you know, I have strong opinions about stuff in case anyone didn't know. But that being said, when it comes to this, in a perfect world, I'd say forensic accounting goes through every last detail of everybody who's ever touched those books and records, those checking accounts, where the money's gone. You know, if it cost us $250,000, $300,000 and we spend it and we get zero out of it, nobody's going to be very happy. On the other hand, if it becomes effective and we discover, you know, who's been stealing from us, then we have to try and recover, and if we can't recover, what do we do next? I mean, it's like, but unfortunately, I mean, the other part to that is, you know, people need to be taught, taught a lesson. So if I've been busy stealing and I'm exposed, then maybe I won't show my face here anymore.
I got that. We would hope so.
Consider appointing a subcommittee.
Go to my
If you consider appointing a subcommittee to act as a forensic accountant, you must have an accountant in the building who can put a couple of hours a week.
That I'm very much against. And this is, you know, I'm not going to talk about coming forward here, but when I ran for the board and when I ran, and when these people ran for the board, the one thing we insisted was that professionals deal with the issues for 204 unit owners. So, you know, unlike Jeffrey Drucker, who across the street, across the building, designed, you know, took out his architect pen and did a drawing that, you know, competes, in my opinion, with you know, high school, elementary school project, middle school project, and he may be a licensed architect. I don't think anybody has the right to do that on behalf of 204 unit owners as a volunteer. It's just not the way I want to be president or on the board of a union, of a board. And I made that opinion known direct, and I'll say it again, don't elect me again. If you disagree with me and think that we should have a bunch of volunteers, you know, culling over and managing the building, I think it's a prescription for disaster. And that's the reason why we can hire a professional, and then we can have individuals who know what's going on here, to have those committees be part of hearing what it is. But I don't think those are the individuals that should be doing it. Because
that's why we are where we are.
That's my personal opinion. I can understand why it's suggested, but then it's the same reason why I won't act as your attorney beyond not being a Florida attorney. But the fact is that I won't be your attorney.
Can we do the statements for 5 years?
The bank statement, well, that would be a good start, and that we already put into play.
So what would you like? Do we want to vote for this or not?
I don't think
It's really just an update.
Just an update.
That management is doing in that process. Yeah, no, okay, so the next topic is ratification of retention of Bristol Roads and a deal with the 2017 tax issue. Apparently, Blue Leaf never bothered to give the IRS form.
A little louder.
Slowly, so everybody can understand, because this is very
So
serious.
yet another one of Blue Leaf's greatest hits. They did not give in the forms from 2017 regarding the payroll tax, and there was a very annoyed IRS agent. So we have been, the IRS has contacted us basically saying that, you know, if we don't correct this immediately, all kinds of penalties, but, you know, obviously when you have payroll, you have to pay certain payroll taxes. And
withheld, but they didn't fill out the form, so it's not clear whether enough was withheld. But the bottom line is Grossville Rosen's gonna have to clean this up and submit the forms that you have to submit to the IRS regarding payroll from 2017, which is before the employees became the employees of National Law.
So they didn't pay the payroll taxes for you all to understand what's happening. And now us, we have to come to the rescue. Now we have to spend more legal fees for somebody to take care of this. That's for you to understand what we had before.
Who didn't do it?
So,
Who was the treasurer?
Last
Who was the
board.
treasurer then?
It's 2017, so.
Well, there was still Melissa for most of the year.
Jennifer was the.
Susan was here temporary for 3 months, so Melissa was here until September.
So that's higher than that.
And Sharon was the president.
So that, I mean, that's the issue. I mean,
What?
the issue is that there, and this is what we encounter daily. I mean, all kinds of stuff that comes literally up from
Surprises.
the
It's
surprises
surprises.
that come. So sometimes you never know where the next surprise is coming from. You see a list of things that we encounter daily and trying to figure out. So this is an issue from 2017, and I mean, you even heard a board member say, "Not my problem. It's only 3 months." Well, you know what? I mean, there's certain things where I'm responsible, like to you. Like I didn't know, and it should have been a turnover, and maybe we should have figured it out that it was happening, but we didn't. But every day is the same week where we found out about the settlement agreement with the 10-day notice. We're finding out about the IRS agent who's literally on our property, knocking on doors. Okay, demanding for these forms and things like that, and that's required 1500 notice. And dealing with that issue, and let's face it, when it comes to the IRS or one of the unit owners, I gotta be dealing with the unit owner. Okay, but.
Correct.
Okay, on that. So, who's at fault for not doing it? It was, I don't know what the board was doing.
Well, we know who's at fault. I mean, you said you don't know who's at fault. We know. The board that handled
Then
this.
vote accordingly.
That is.
We have elections next week.
No.
Vote accordingly.
Yeah, we know who handled it. Sharon was the president, Jennifer was the treasurer. So we know. And we know who was working in 2017. So let's not act like we don't know who did it.
And
this is why people complain about attorney's fees. We have 2 in 1 week that just came sideways out. It's like a whack-a-mole game, you hit one mole and another one pops up. It's weekly, and then they complain about this attorney fees.
And I do wanna say, you don't.
It's not him. He shares the wealth.
Okay. You don't play with the IRS.
So, I'd like to.
You don't play with people's money. Okay?
So make a ratification of retention of Personal Rosen to deal with the 2017 tax issue with the IRS.
So what's that mean?
second,
What's that mean?
You're hiring an accounting firm to deal with the IRS. They have to, it's gotten to the point where you need professionals to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I hear a second?
Rosen is a firm.
All in favor, say aye.
Chloe Vitale,
Stephen Gold's aye.
No, die.
Is there anything else on here we gotta pay for?
Yeah, we.
What'd you say? We're gonna sell one of our children?
They're not gonna leave any money for my children.
I know.
But your children will want to come here.
Yeah, they wanna come here free.
Doesn't everyone? The vote to ratify the cancellation of the elite guard contract. As some of you, I hope all of you have noticed, we've switched over our front desk. We're upgrading to a concierge service, we're calling it concierge service, to, the security that was here was terrible. I mean, most of you, I'm not full-time here, but anytime I've encountered here, some of them were more polite than others, but it really was not an expectation of anything magnificent.
Not consistent.
And so what we have gotten rid of is the elite security guards contract, which we had to 30 days notice, which we canceled. And then we engaged a concierge service where we hired these employees through AT for
It costs more money?
all of the same. It's about the same exact.
Do we have a list of what they're gonna provide us this way here?
Yeah,
There was an email sent out.
There was an email.
Working towards what we
It only said, honestly, it did not say details. They include things in my apartment?
You know, the answer is that they're not doing it, but it would be nice if, you know, we had the ability to say, hey, I'm coming down for those of us who don't live here full-time or do live here full-time, to have, you know, a cleaning service that's available, that's reputable. I mean, I don't know how many people do or don't or want, but, you know, if you want to go turn your apartment on before you're coming down a week, it would be nice to have
So you know what they provide?
Yes, absolutely.
Most importantly, will they kick people out that don't belong here?
Oh, yeah. Like
Only for love.
the Airbnb people.
The answer is, we've got to establish that, and I'm not that smart to figure
You
out how to
can go
do
to the
this.
docks and it tells you the whole rental policy from way back. And that works.
On who's,
You
well,
had to be here, you couldn't rent 3 months out of the year, one time. And you had to live here for a year before you could do that.
right, well, one of the nice things about our building versus the other buildings have a 2-year period before you can actually rent.
That's great.
I mean, it's great if we're living here, if we're looking to maximize value, I can make the argument that it's a poor issue because it diminishes value of prices, because somebody who's buying may not want to buy into a building where they can't rent, where they're going to counter. There's arguments for and against on both ways. The one thing that will change though, is that because of the way the lobby is being redesigned, and by the way, demolition should start this week, is that when people come into the building, you're not going to be able, an individual's not going to be able to circumvent the sleeping security guard. Or, I mean, one of the things that blows my mind, and I still haven't figured this out, is this 5-minute break where somebody,
Puts a note on it.
puts on a note, and we've got to figure out how to deal with that issue, and we've talked about trying to figure it out, because that should be there 24 hours a day, on that. But there's an expense to that, and we have to evaluate how we accomplish that. But going forward, nobody should be getting into that building without buzzing through. I know there's an issue downstairs with the, I don't think the lock was, anybody who's come in through the parking lot in the last 8 hours, 5 hours. Okay, it's still, here's the problem with that. That's a we can't, that's recreation's property, and we've notified them. I think somebody said if you keep turning it to the left, you should put up a sign that says keep turning it.
I didn't put up a sign yet, but if you just turn it halfway to the right, it'll unlock it. Keep turning it, it snaps back.
Yeah, we gotta put up a sign, because nobody's gonna know to do that.
Well, Mr. President, let me ask you a question. The other buildings seem to have it under control, when, I don't care when you go in, there is a guard there. I mean.
And they want to know who you are.
Yeah, they wanna know who you are and where you're going. I mean, how come we can't do it?
Okay, well.
I'm just asking.
My question on that, and I don't know the answer to it,
Yeah.
because it's the same company was in the past. Now, the only thing I can say, and you're just hearing this,